Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about 10 signs of narcissistic people, 10 red flags that you could be dealing with a narcissist. And this could be a narcissistic parent, a narcissistic friend, a narcissistic boss, work colleague, partner, adult child. As when it comes to narcissistic people, someone else's narcissistic partner is someone else's narcissistic child, someone else's narcissistic friend, someone else's narcissistic parent. And there are many signs that you could be dealing with a narcissistic person, which we often miss because we don't know about these signs, and because narcissistic people are incredibly good at manipulating others to get their needs met, and they often use lots of different forms of coercive controlling behaviour, of emotional abuse, so that you can't see who they are or what they are doing to you. A narcissist will sell you an illusion so that they can exploit you, so that they can get their needs met by you. And when you begin to see through that illusion, they are going to go all out to gaslight you, to distort what you know you've seen, so that you doubt and blame and question yourself and not them. A narcissist is going to go all out to shame you, to blame you, to criticize you, to judge you, so you feel and look badly upon yourself, and they continue to get away with their behavior. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So one of the major things about narcissistic people is they are extremely hypocritical people. With a narcissist, it's a case of it's one rule for them and another rule for those around them. The do as I say and not as I do, as narcissistic people tend to be entitled, self-entitled people. They believe they're entitled to have what they want when they want with whoever they want, and they have a grandiose belief that they are special, so they are deserving of that, yet other people are not, because they usually believe they're above others. So they will happily borrow your stuff, they will happily take your stuff, they'll happily expect to use your money. However, you will not be allowed to borrow their stuff, you will not be allowed to take their stuff, you will not be allowed to have access to their money unless they want to use their money to exploit you, buying you excessive gifts so that you have to be eternally grateful to them for those gifts that they purchased for you. Not that you'll realize this at the time, they do this later down the line. Or a narcissistic parent that's trying to buy back their child, they'll full silence on their child for a few weeks, and then they'll take their child shopping and buy them loads of extravagant things to confuse the child, because that is one of the most confusing things about a narcissist, is they don't treat you badly all of the time. And narcissistic parents can treat their children so well that children then end up blaming themselves due to the narcissist gaslighting when the narcissist treats the child so wrong. So the children think it's something they've done and blame themselves, don't feel like they're enough, and don't recognise that it's who the parent is and it's nothing about who the child is. And the same goes in a narcissistic relationship with a narcissistic husband or wife. Because they can treat you well, the one who's being emotionally abused by the narcissist often ends up questioning, blaming and doubting themselves and not the narcissistic person. Everything's usually a competition with a narcissist, usually because they are quite envious people. They're going to create competition in one form or another, whether that's creating competition between people so that the narcissist can stand back and watch the show, or whether that's creating competition between the narcissist and somebody else. And they are going to create competition that sets it up for the narcissist to win. They can be some of the most competitive people that you've ever met, and they are not competitive as in working to become better than who they were yesterday as a person, that inner confidence. They are competitive within that arrogance where they seek to pull other people down so that they can feel better about themselves. Their defense mechanism, there's nothing you can do to help them with this. This is their defense mechanism, because they don't feel enough within themselves. They feel envious of what another person has, so they seek to find a way to invalidate what another person has, to pull that other person down, to feel better within themselves. They are highly competitive people, and they will talk badly of those they feel they're doing better than themselves. They control you through finances, whether this is so that you don't have enough finances, whether this is them taking loans out in your name, having everything put over into their name, whether this is allowing you to control the finances, yet making sure that they put the fear into you that you give them everything they want, so it doesn't leave you with enough, and they can turn around and say, it's not my fault, you're the one that's controlling the finances. But you know, if you say no to them, there's going to be hell to pay. Narcissistic people will use a lot of financial abuse so that they can control the person they're with, or the person they're trying to control through finances. They exploit people to meet a need of their own, and one of the easiest ways for a narcissist to exploit another person is through money, because people can fear they haven't got the financial resources to get out of the situation they've found themselves in. They shame you. They shame you so much that you become a shell of your former self. They pull you down, they tear you to pieces, they invalidate you, they criticize you. They will tell you that you'll have nothing without them. How are you going to survive without them? So you feel like you're not enough and become dependent on them. Sometimes the narcissist is one of the biggest codependents you can ever meet, because they need that supply of attention to keep their inner selves hidden, their inner trauma hidden. They need a supply of external attention from those around them. Yet they don't want to admit to needing somebody else, so they will make somebody dependent on them through things such as finances, and then accuse the other person of being the problem. They will guilt trip you. They will come at you with, if you loved me, you would. After all I've done for you. Yet because they are hypocritical, you can have done absolutely everything in your power for them, and if you turn around to them and say, after all I've done for you, they're going to throw this back in your face. They can use that on you, but you are not allowed to use that on them. Yet more often than not, this leaves you confused, because when you really look into it, a narcissist does the bare minimum for you to extract the maximum from you, whereas you will be doing the maximum for them and getting the bare minimum in return. As a narcissist can be vulnerable with you, but they'll not be truly vulnerable. Their defense mechanism, they're more into denying any knowledge of things that they don't want other people to find out about. But they will be vulnerable in a sob story way of blaming all others for the problems within their lives to get you to feel sorry for them, so that they can exploit your compassion towards them to do things for them that you wouldn't ordinarily do. Because narcissists require excessive attention. And if a narcissist can't get excessive attention by getting adoration and praise and admiration, if they can't go all out to give you the best party ever and receive eternal gratitude from you for that, they will go all out to ruin that party for you. And then when you go and discuss this with them, they're going to turn around and play the victim, be all vulnerable and, oh, I knew it would be my fault. After everything I've done for you, you know about my childhood, you know I don't like special occasions. So that you're the one that's then feeling bad for the very things they've done to you. You're the one that's then making it up to them for the things they're actually doing to you. They require praise when they do something for you. They haven't done it out of the goodness of their own heart. They've done it because they want something from you. And often that can just be attention. However, they'll not listen to you. You're not allowed to be vulnerable with them. If they feel like they haven't got their own way, if they feel like you're not doing as they please, if they feel like you're not grateful enough to them, they're going to withhold finances. They are going to withhold attention, affection and support to punish you, yet they're going to find a way to blame you for why they are withholding things from you. So you feel like you're the one that's causing the problems of the very things that they are actually doing to you. Narcissistic people lack empathy. So when they fall silent on you, no matter how much you beg or plead with them, they're getting a twisted thrill out of it. They're enjoying the attention you're providing them. When they fall silent on you, one of the best things you can do is go and do all the things that you enjoy doing. Respect their silence and leave them to it. It's very difficult to respect someone else's silence because we often fall silent if we believe somebody has hurt our feelings and we're not quite ready to communicate yet. We would open up and communicate when we are ready to do so. So we often think we've done something to cause them to fall silent on us and we want that communication. Yet they are manipulating us, so we have to learn to respect their silence and leave them to it. That is on them, not you. Narcissistic people will completely ignore healthy boundaries. If you say no to a narcissist, no one throws a bigger tantrum than a narcissist who's losing control over somebody else's mind, who's not getting their own way, who's been shown facts and evidence of something they definitely did do. Narcissistic people do not like being called out on their behaviour. Again, their defence mechanism to protect themselves. The more you try to push something with a narcissist, the more you're going to get that rage out of them, which unfortunately we don't realise at the time when we're dealing with them because we don't understand their true capability. We don't understand their workings. We don't understand who they are as a person. So yes, we can trigger narcissistic people because we don't understand where they're coming from. Yet just because you can have compassion for them doesn't mean they're allowed to exploit that compassion you have for them, and it doesn't mean they're allowed to treat you poorly. That is on them. We can have the understanding to keep a safe distance from them. You say no to a narcissist, they're going to create competition with you to get you to say yes. They're going to start talking about what someone else would have done for them. They're going to force you into it. They're going to tell you that they asked nicely. They're going to rage out at you. They're going to fall silent on you. They're going to withhold something from you. They're going to set a boundary with you, which they're entitled to do. They're entitled to set that boundary, but it is manipulation. When you say you will not do something for someone else and they say, well, don't expect me to do this for you, that is boundary retaliation, which is further manipulation. Respect that they're not going to do that for you and don't do what you were going to do for them. Stick to your own beliefs. If something doesn't feel right by saying yes, say no and stick to your no. Because the more a narcissist can get you to change your mind, the more they will push your buttons, the more they will guilt trip you, the more they will pity play with you, the more they will manipulate you to get you to change your no's into yeses to serve them. and they will never to be blamed. They're never in the wrong. Nothing is ever their fault, and they are not going to apologise, because to them, you made them do it, or somebody else caused the situation. They will not take responsibility for their own behaviour, and as they're never held accountable for their own behaviour, they don't change their behaviour. They just learn new ways to manipulate people to get their own way. They might offer a false apology if they believe there's something to gain from it, but then it's a case of, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry if only you. I'm sorry if you'd have paid me more attention. I'm sorry if you didn't hear me. I'm sorry if you forgot to remind me. They're always looking to shift the blame over to somebody else so that they don't have to take responsibility for their behaviour, and they do not change their behaviour. If anyone has any signs that you noticed when you were dealing with a narcissistic person, please do add those into the comments. Any thoughts on this video, also add those into the comments. If you're looking for further help and support in overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.